Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? That was
Yes,
quite
good
an act to
afternoon.
follow. Thank you, Dr. Pat. Thank you, Margaret. This was quite a celebration already. So, hi, everybody. My name is Rhonda Freed, and by day, I am a storytelling and public speaking coach. I work with nonprofits, mostly to increase their funding so that they could continue their very vital work in the world. I helped, for example, a young man from Ghana raise $100,000 for a medical van to take to the outlying villages in Ghana where people were dying from treatable diseases. He raised that $100,000. He's got two vans, and as of this date, he has raised 8,000 lives, has saved 8,000 lives. So I'm very proud to do what I do and of the people that I work with. So I am not here to talk about that today. I am here to talk about the summer that I had 65 internet dates. I kid you not. It was a great time. It was a lot of fun. And I'm hoping that when I share a couple of stories and a couple of tips, that you will be less disappointed when you go and when and if you go online, because it's more prevalent now than ever. Did you know that 52% of women in the United States are now single? So it's really important to get out there and find your partner, and internet is one of the ways. So what I wanted to tell you is that I hope that you will walk away and that I can save you some disappointment, maybe even some heartbreak, and allow you to be safe and smart and have fun. And I was lucky. I never met an axe murderer. I was never stood up for a date. I had some very quirky and fun times, like the weekend that I had 3 dates with three different guys named Bob. I was very easy to keep track of them. And it was great fun. And on Monday, my coworkers would come in and gather around me so that I could talk about my exploits over the past weekend. So I want to start out telling you a story. I have a brilliant woman friend who's a brilliant musician, a brilliant woman, and she went on the internet, fell madly in love with this gentleman who was also a musician, and they decided they were going to sing duets together. I think he was a pianist and she was a singer. And so they spoke every day on the internet, then on the phone, and just fell madly for each other. And finally, he decided to invite her to his home, which was halfway across the country. I and her friends said, do not go. You don't really know this guy. Invite him here, have him stay in a hotel, and get to know each other casually, just face to face. No, she said, he is my soulmate. He is the one. It's going to be great. I'm going to go. And she went. She walks into his home and finds out that he is a hoarder. And there's this one chair with this stack of papers really high that she goes to take off so that she can sit, right? He flies into an absolute rage. And she gets scared. And she said, I want to go home. I want you to take me back to the airport now. And he said, no. 2 hours later, he did take her back to the airport, and she came home a disappointed, heartbroken, but much wiser woman. So why do I share this with you? For several reasons. Not that you're going to meet an ex murderer or horrible people, but you want to be smart and you want to be safe. So first, I want to talk about safety. Always, no matter how connected you are to a person on the internet or think you are, meet them in a public place. Tell your friends the time and place of the date and start casually. Like, do not go for dinner for the first date. Go for coffee or a cocktail. And the reason is this, because chemistry is an incredibly mysterious thing. And as connected as you can be on the internet, on the phone, as soon as you lay eyes on somebody, you know whether it's right or wrong. And for example, I was talking to this oncologist who was a couple of towns over than me. Really nice guy, brilliant guy, witty, fun. We had such a great time over the internet and over the phone. We finally decided to go for dinner. The minute we set eyes on each other, we knew it wasn't going to work. I can't tell you why. I just know that that's what happens. And he checked all my boxes as far as a relationship goes. And we had seen each other's pictures, so we weren't strangers, but it just didn't work. And we continued on to our very awkward dinner. So to save you embarrassment, to save you from having to make up an excuse that's very awkward about having dinner, just start out slow and be safe because you never know who you are going to meet, regardless of what you think. And the next thing I want to talk about is fantasy. We all have them. We all think our prince or Prince Charming is going to come. If you're in my generation, we grew up on Walt Disney. Real life doesn't begin until the prince kisses Snow White and wakes her up. The prince is going to come and save us from scrubbing floors for the rest of our lives like Cinderella. Well, if that happens to you, if you meet your Prince Charming, and people have done that early on, more power to you. But for many of us, you got to kiss a lot of frogs. And that's okay, because you never know. Again, and I keep saying that because it's really an important emphasis. But one of the things that I really recommend that I learned the hard way is get off the internet fast. Even if you video chat with someone so you can tell more about what the energy is between you, if you don't get off on the internet, and I was on the internet for a month once because I had so much fun with this other man and I really thought he was the one. And when he finally asked to come visit me, my expectations were so high. I was married already in my head, and my friends dressed me and I had the makeup on and I was really excited. So he comes, I take him to my favorite restaurant for dinner, my first mistake. He proceeds to tell me, first thing, that he is a manic depressive, he is off his meds, and proceeds to talk solidly for 2.5 hours about himself. I don't even know how he swallowed his food. And talk about disappointing. So, you can't save everybody from disappointment, but you've got to be smart. And you want to get off the phone and off the internet until you can meet face to face in some way, shape, or form. That's really, really important. And we women, men too, I'm sure, but we women get crazy when it comes to romance. We forget our common sense, we ignore our intuition, and that fantasy grows and grows and grows. So if you can temper your expectations, you can have a lot of fun. And you have to get your values and what you do and what you won't do and your rules before you go on the internet. Because one of the things I wanted to tell you is one of the great things about doing a lot of internet dates, you get really good intuitively. It's almost like a psychic sixth sense. Again, I can't explain it, but it happens. And I was talking to this gentleman one night, really good conversation, nice man, really sweet. And I got this hit that he was married. Don't ask me. I don't know. I just knew. So I asked him. And there was this great silence. And then he said, yes, you're right. I'm married. And I said, I'm sorry, but I don't talk to married men, much less meet them. And I said, go back to your wife. I really said that. And it makes you brave on the internet, but don't get too brave. So safe, be smart, listen to your intuition, and know your rules and your values, what you will accept and not accept before you get on. So that I'm hoping that you don't have to learn the hard way. And I see that I'm running out of time. So I will just say that I did find someone that lasted 10 years. We had a good run. And for you, I wish you great love, great fun, and thank you.